Okay, well, good morning, everybody. My name is Norma Arvizu. I'm the city librarian, and I want to welcome everybody to the program. But before we get started, I'm going to introduce Patrick Ho, one of our newest new citizen, who just became a citizen, to come up and do the Pledge of Allegiance for us. Patrick? Did we lose Patrick? Okay. If everybody could please stand.
Oh yeah.
If everybody please place your hand over your heart.
Hi, sir. Please join me in the flag patch.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Right. No, Patrick here. Right here. You have to speak into the mic, or it won't pick up. Just
Okay.
Okay. There you go. This way.
Oh, here. Okay. Begin. Represents the flag of the United States of America and the Republic and God and the peaceful Republic of China.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. I'm going to begin by introducing some of our very special guests that are here, and I'm going to thank them. First of all, I'd like to welcome and thank our mayor, Liang. If you can please stand. Thank you. Our mayor pro tem, we have Peter Chan. Thank you. Council member Anthony Wong. Our own city manager, Paul Talbot. And of course, we have our two very special guests, State Assembly member Chau. And of course, I hope I say this right, it's such a different name, Los Angeles College District Trustee Mike Ng. And we also have the members of the Board of Trustees. If I could have them all stand, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. People have asked me, oh my goodness, Norma, it's really fancy this year. Yes, it is. But fancier than the location and the venue that we're sitting in is the reality is why we are here. The LAMP Literacy Program has been servicing adult students for 30 years. So let's give that a big applause. I have not been here 30 years, but the early beginnings of the literacy program was what really captured my attention when I asked Mike Ng if he could just give me a little background on how this actually became. Because most literacy programs are either something that's brought together by federal programs in the libraries that started in '84. But the literacy program actually had its early beginnings with Mike in 1986. And I want to read a little bit of what he sent me because I think it's really interesting to know the history of this literacy program. 30 years ago in 1986, and I'm quoting Mike, I was involved with our library, and actually even before that. As a volunteer pro bono attorney, I had started a citizenship outreach project to 10 neighborhoods in LA County, and I noticed that immigrants were afraid of applying for citizenship. They still are. They had heard many stories of how the INS, as it was called back then, was not friendly to immigrants. I believe some of them still aren't. And that the citizenship test was so difficult and had a high failure rate, even after months and months of difficult preparation on the part of the applicants. When I accompanied these applicants to the hearing, I found out that everything they said was correct. So when I was on the library board, I asked the librarian if we could invite residents to the library for a town hall citizenship workshop where I, as an immigration lawyer and board member, could walk them through the process. The back room in the library was so full with people that the fire department had to come over and prevent us from admitting more people. That was 1986. We still have waiting lines that are close to 60 people to get into our program. Thus was born the idea to do some citizenship classes. And then he brought up the idea of doing a video where he would play the role of an INS officer. I'd like to see that, Mike. And enact a citizenship interview. And in that way, we could reach more people. The video sold out 5 times. He was then contacted by KSCI, Channel 18, who had seen the video and used his script to do a 6-week series in 8 languages, which won the Los Angeles Emmy Award for Best Instructional Video. Interesting enough, and I want to share this, at the very end he says, "Sí se puede." In Spanish, yes we can. I want to share a little something more. To this day, we have a 98% success rate in the literacy program, in citizenship alone. And that's incredible. Thank you. The citizenship instructors have become so fancy and creative and innovative that they grill our students in every possible way. An examiner may pose a question that might be a little different from what's expected. So we do a one-to-one citizenship coaching, which helps the success rate, and we're very proud of that. But that said, I'm going to bring up this wonderful person that started the LAMP Literacy Program to do a presentation to our Tutor of the Year. Please welcome Mike Ng.
All right, well, thank you so much, Norma, for that. It kind of brought back memory lane. I didn't take my Prozac this morning, so if you hadn't mentioned, I would never remember it. You know, this is such a wonderful venue. Don't you like it here? You know, why don't we turn to the person next to you and say, thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting literacy. Come on. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting literacy. It really is a great, incredible time to be here for the LAMP Literacy Awards. And Norma, first of all, Norma, thank you for your leadership, and as someone whose unique background in literacy, before you became our librarian, I believe you're the only California city librarian to have that background, that sensitivity that you bring, the organizational skills and the passion for the people that really need them. Give Norma and all the library people a round of applause. You know, what was said, I'll make this very brief because I know there's about 4 hours. This actually is going to end in a breakfast tomorrow morning at Merci right here. So Monterey Park, a full-service city and meal service included. So we're going to be here for dinner, and I believe Mercy's here tomorrow. Is that right? Okay. So anyway, I'm here to present the Literacy of the Year Award, but I just want to tell you how special it is to be here. When I represented immigrants who are applying for citizenship, it was so important to them. I remember that an individual from one of our immigrant communities went in. I still remember it as it was yesterday. You take the escalator up to the second floor, and he was there. And we waited an hour for the examiner to come in. And the first question the examiner was supposed to be, will you stand? And so the examiner said this, and I'll quote you word for what the examiner is. And I said, excuse me, ma'am, I don't understand what you... She said, you shut up or I'm going to make you wait outside. So she said to the person again, raise your right hand, which was supposed to be raise your right hand. But I was born here. I have a law degree, a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, and I could not understand what she said. So she failed him. He stood up and he said, I know pass, I die. And he keeled over right in front of me. He had a heart attack. And the stress of being a person in your family that holds the key to becoming a citizen for that better job that will help you move out of the slums, to file a petition for citizenship, for a green card for your parents or your children, and most of all, to be empowered enough to vote, was weighing in on this individual so much that when he found out that he couldn't even answer the first question, he almost died. And that's why we're here today, because immigration, citizenship, the pathway to learning English is a civil rights issue. It is a civil rights issue, and all of you involved in this quest for civil rights, a basic human right to be able to be legally here with dignity and all the rights accorded by the Constitution, is a wonderful thing for all of you. So I wanted to say thank you to all of you. There's no reason why they call it LAMP, because you are brightening up the world for thousands and thousands of immigrants that come to this country, not just immigrants, but their U.S. citizen children who want to see their parents, their grandparents, their brothers and sisters, and even in some cases, their children to succeed. I'd like to present the Tutor of the Year Award. And let me tell you how important you are and how important Monterey Park is. We started the Harvey Elparin Tutor of the Year Award. Harvey Elparin used to get the Tutor of the Year Award so many times. He was a gentleman that had a furniture store in downtown LA on Broadway Street. And when he turned 70, he realized that he was going to eat himself into a heart attack. And so his wife said, why don't you get off your whatchamacallit and do something? So he had seen an article about the Monterey Park literacy program. He came down and began to tutor. And he tutored again and again and again. We started the Harvey Elparin Tutor of the Year Award. That award reached the state of California. And the state of California was so impressed with what Monterey Park did, with what you did, that they started the Harvey Elparin State of California Literacy Award. So, invented here in the great city of Monterey Park. I'd like to end by giving the award as the Tutor of the Year to an incredible person. I met her, I believe, in 1995? 1995. The city had gone through some changes demographically, and there were some tensions. And so I started an essay contest called Please Write About a Culture that you are not from, but that you would appreciate. What do you appreciate about someone else's culture? And lo and behold, the person that won the first prize award for the first essay contest that we did for the adult category was none other than Annabelle Chau, who's your citizenship preparation volunteer contractor. She's been with the program since 2000. I'll just read the abbreviated version. She was asked to help Lilian. Is Lilian here today? Lilian is the godmother of citizenship tutoring. Thank you, Lilian. And she coached to a group, individual, then a group of students, then a full class of 49 students. I'm sure you're going to hear more about her. I'd like to ask her to come up and receive the Monterey Park 2014 Lap Literacy Program's Tutor of the Year 30th Anniversary Award. Would you please come up? And I'd like to ask the Monterey Park Library Board and the Library Foundation and Library Friends, if you would come up. I have a special check here for $100,000. No, I'm sorry. I have a certificate. It's a misprint. I have a certificate worth $1.99. But I'd like to ask the Library Board, the Library Foundation, and the Friends, if you'll come up and share in this.
Thank you very much for this honor. And I want to thank Norma for the program we have in the Monterey Park. But first of all, I want to thank Lilian. She was my mentor when I first started. So I learned everything about citizenship and tutoring from Lilian. And here I am. She's such a good teacher. When Norma asked me to prepare a bio, I started thinking, where should I start? But then it dawned on me, my bio is already written, and it's in this book. And the book is called Nuts to You, Folks to Me. And the author of this book is called Sue Lewis. She's a co-worker of mine. She has retired since, but of course I didn't tell you. I was, and I'm still is, a registered nurse, not any ordinary nurse. I work in an acute psychiatric unit. So Michael Ng, if you forget your Prozac, don't worry, I got some. So you got the right person here. If I'm a little bit nutty, you should understand I work in this lunar being or a nutshell for the last 35 years. And I'm still doing that job. I'm not that old. I'm not retirement age yet. So I don't want to bore you with the story, but if you are interested in learning something about mental health and also about my story, check this out. It's in our library. Can you believe that? You are going to be surprised. You will have a wild and crazy journey. Thank you so much.
Isn't she amazing? I mean, how can her students not pass, right? So she's captured in a chapter in that book, which means that she's forever a permanent fixture of the Monterey Park Bruggemeyer Library. And Mike, thank you so much. That was incredible, your story and everything you've done for this lamp literacy program. Our next guest is our Honorable Ed Chau, State Assembly member. I'd like to bring him up, please.
Thank you very much, Norma, for the kind introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a delight for me to be here. Let me start by acknowledging and thanking Mike Ying. Where is Mike Ying? Right there. My predecessor. I'm glad that Norma earlier mentioned about the video that Mike made when this was many years ago. In fact, that was the very first time that I learned about Mike Ying's work in immigration, for immigration. And I was just right out of law school. This was more than 20 some years ago. And I was a volunteer at the Asian Pacific American Legal Center, where he was was actively helping with the program there. And that's where the video was part of the program. So I learned about Mike at that point, and then I met him at that point. And he's done a lot. He's done tremendous work for the community. So I wanted to personally thank him for all that he has done for all of us and for all of California. And many of you know that he also served in the State Assembly for 6 years, in which he did a lot of legislation helping the state of California. So I want to say thank you, Mike, for all that you have done. And right now, he's currently serving as the community college trustee, which is one of the largest community college in the United States. So he is into education. And I'm very pleased to have taken his position. These are very big shoes for me to fill. So I work very closely with Mike, and so I look forward to working with all of you as well as Mike. And I'm delighted, like I said, I'm delighted to be here to honor the LAMP program and also the volunteers who put in countless hours for the program. And Mike talked a little bit about the naturalization process. When I was in law practice, I also represented a number of individuals at immigration, at these citizenship hearings. And when they come out of these interviews, if they pass that test, you should see the glow on their face. So, I represented quite a few of these individuals. So every time I would go to these interviews with these individuals, I was excited too. To those of you who are helping with citizenship classes, I want to say thank you for making a big difference in the lives of these individuals. And I wanted to share with you a little bit of statistics about literacy, because this is what the LAMP program is all about. And in a study of literacy among 20 high-income countries, U.S. ranked 12. And literacy has become such a serious problem in our country that 44 million adults are now unable to read a simple story to their children. And 50% of adults cannot read a book written at an 8th grade level. And 45 million people are functionally illiterate and read below a 5th grade level. And 44% of the American adults do not read a book in a year. And 6 out of 10 households do not buy a single book in a year. And this also affects our economy, obviously. And one more piece of number, approximately 50% of Americans read so poorly that they're unable to perform simple tasks such as reading prescription drug labels. And I bring that out because we all realize the importance of literacy program, and I want to say thank you to the LAMP program for serving the community in the last 3 decades. And obviously, Annabelle, I'm very pleased to be here to recognize your efforts. And you and I talked a little bit about your background before the meeting, and you and I share a lot of things in common. So I wanted to say thank you for that, all that you have done for the community. I also brought with me a certificate to present to you. So at this time, I'd like to ask you to come on up to receive this certificate on behalf of the 49th Assembly District. I'd like to present it to you. Please come on up. I also brought another one for the board for literacy for all of Monterey Park Land program. If I could ask the board of directors to come on up, I'd like to take a picture with you. I'd like to present this to you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And thank you, State Assembly Member Ed Chau, for those incredible statistics. It is very, very alarming to know that illiteracy still exists in this country, especially with so many resources that are available. But I think, as most of us know, that people, especially adults who cannot read, do not necessarily come forward and announce that. They do a very good job of hiding it. When I do my tutor trainings, I always share with newcomers to the program if they have ever read the movie or seen the movie The Reader with Kate Blanchett. It's an incredible story and a true story of someone who actually hid that she could not read and was actually convicted of some of the atrocities that occurred during the Holocaust. I would like to invite our mayor, Hans Liang, to please come up here and say a few words. We're very honored that he's here. Mayor.
Thank you, Norma. I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate the LAMP Literacy Program on 30 years of providing this service for the community. As many of the speakers have said before, it's really amazing when you hear about the statistics about how there are so many people that cannot read or are not literate. I think also I want to commend, for 30 years to go by and for this program to still be going on, it really speaks to the commitment of library board members, of our librarian, and of all the volunteers that have taken their time and volunteered their time to help move this forward. I think also, especially for some of the volunteers, especially if they're coming from cultures that are different from being in America, like myself being born in America, I'm raised in an American culture. I think some of the volunteers that come from different cultures are able to better create a bridge and to also kind of relay their own experiences from their culture and bridge that together with the American culture. So I just want to thank everybody, all the volunteers, all the sponsors, everyone throughout the past 30 years who have contributed their time and effort to continue this program going as strong as it has. And I'm sure with the people that we have working and the commitment that we have, that we will see it definitely go on for another 30 years. So on behalf of the city of Monterey Park, thank you all.
For some of you who do not know, this is Jose. He has been my right hand since I came on board, and even to now, he's adjust the mic. Thank you, Mayor Hans Liang. I am going to share a little story. Some folks have asked me, Norma, you're a little fancy here this year. What happened? Well, first of all, yes, we are. These are funds that are not being used by the city funds. These are funds that were raised by some incredible people in this room, fundraising efforts, to make this very possible and very special. The literacy program has been very dear to my heart for the past 7 years, and this will be my last year that I will oversee the literacy program. I will recruit a new literacy administrator, because the reality is it has been a little difficult for me to juggle both jobs, though I still have a deep passion for literacy. And of course, will continue to teach if I can, to keep my credentials alive whenever our wonderful teachers are absent. So it is an incredible journey, and I know that we will see much more out of this literacy program as well. One of the biggest successes that this literacy program has had has been in partnerships. Partnerships in the community who have joined the literacy program to assist in helping our students. As I mentioned, we have an enormous amount of waiting lists from every level of ESL, from phonics all the way to advanced English, to conversation as well. But the most incredible partnership that we have had that has been a long-term to this library from the day I first walked in as a literacy administrator was the partnership with Claremont College and the Asian American Political Department, who approached me one day and said, could we partner and help with some way? And since then, we have had this enormous support every Monday night of students that come all the way from Claremont to do a one-to-one with our citizenship students, which has been part of the tremendous rate success that we have. We cannot boast that rate unless with these incredible people. So I'm going to bring up Dr. Kathleen Yep, who is also the professor of the Asian American Studies at Pitzer College, to talk a little bit about that partnership. Kathleen, please welcome her.
Thank you. So good afternoon. It is an honor to be here at this gathering. I'm here today as a resident of Monterey Park. I'm also the wife of a man, Raymond Young, who was born and raised in Monterey Park. And he asked us to return and to move here because he had such fond memories of the compassion and care of growing up here, going to Highlands Elementary. Paul Perez helped raise Raymond Young. He gave my husband his first album, Saturday Night Fever. So that's why we have disco in our life, so thank you, Paul Perez. But I'm also before you today as a tenured professor, as the chair of the Intercollegiate Department of Asian American Studies at the Claremont Colleges, which is just 30 miles east on the 10. And we are ranked in the top 10 of liberal arts colleges in the United States. We're right behind Harvard. And we are so humbled to learn from and work with LAMP and the LAMP community, which includes the volunteer tutors, the LAMP learners. And for all these years, this partnership has flourished. On the college side, you have helped 100 college students deepen their skills and their understanding of social responsibility and political engagement through various courses like research methods, contemporary sociological theory, nonviolent social change, Asian American voices. The Monterey Park community has taught these Claremont College students and helped them do things like one-on-one coaching, teach advanced ESL speaking classes, do a poetry and creative expression class, conduct oral histories alongside LAMP learners, translate N400 questions into pinyin, create an ESL curriculum through video and audio, create an anthology of poetry. And you all have helped teach our Claremont College students to become engaged citizens in the world, and they've gone on to jobs like Google Asia. They've gone on to fellowships to teach and do research through the Fulbright in various parts of the world. You have helped our students go on to UCLA Medical School, Stanford for a master's in education, PhD programs at UMass Amherst, UC Davis, Northwestern, UCLA. You've helped us have the students go on and get their MSWs, go on to Harvard Law School, as well as get their master's at UCLA in Asian American Studies. So on behalf of the Claremont Colleges, we are grateful for you helping us foster this trajectory. So Norma asked me to say a few comments about this partnership and what does partnership mean. And there are many elements that make this partnership work. And really, through our conversations, they're built on three things. One is mutual respect, two is communication, and the third is the shared vision. But what I will say is, reflecting on this almost close to a decade of a partnership, is there's been a shared approach to how we approach partnership, both between the colleges and LAMP, but also within the LAMP community. And I think, if I may, this approach is really characterized based on solidarity. And that's very different than a charity approach. While we are providing a service, we are helping others, we're really approaching this as co-learners, as partners, who together we are identifying what social issues are we tackling together and trying to address them. And the outcome of this solidarity approach to the partnership and work between the colleges and LAMP is really about empowerment and trying to make society more just. So several years ago, I had the honor of teaching a combined class that was half Claremont College students and half LAMP learners, mostly adult immigrant women from Asia over the age of 60. And together we wrote poetry, and together we published a bilingual anthology and then had a public reading. And at the beginning of this semester, both sets of students, and including the professor, were a bit timid, a bit shy, and there was an element of kind of hiding. And you know that, right? When either people, your children or your students kind of hide. They don't make eye contact. They don't want to answer your question when you pose the question. But at the end of the semester, you saw boldness. You saw a sense of purpose from both the LAMP learners and the Claremont College students. So there was a moment where all of the immigrant LAMP learners were talking, and there was a set of older Asian immigrant women, probably in their 70s. They'd been in the U.S. for more than 10 years. And then there was a pair of Asian immigrant women who were a little bit younger, but only been in the U.S. for about like a year. And they were having this heated discussion. And I couldn't tell, was it about the writing prompt? Was it about each other? And so I just kind of walked over there and just checked in, and one of the older students said, "You are worth something. Don't forget that." And then another older Asian immigrant woman said, "You have a say." And for me, that was a moment of this shift and transformation, where you're going from feeling invisible to feeling you're worth something, and that's what the LAMP program does with their solidarity approach. The other side of it was the Claremont College students learned that their voice mattered as Asian American students or as Asian immigrant students in the US. And one student who is Vietnamese, who was a first-generation college student navigating her way and is now getting her PhD in sociology at the University of Minnesota, wrote this at the end of the semester of this class. She wrote, quote, "I only understood Asian American studies as a one-dimensional field of study where various aspects of Asian American experiences and intersectional identities were discussed. Because of LAMP, my perception of the field has been expanded to an understanding of community work and engagement for social change. I realized that simply learning about issues was not enough. Rather, it was what we do with the information that is equally as important. So I'm not going to be a turtle anymore, hiding when I want to feel safe." Right? So you see the parallels in these two voices. You are worth something. You have something to say. We need to do something with our knowledge, and we're not going to be turtles anymore. We are going to be bold. We are going to be out there. So that is the solidarity approach that I feel that LAMP has taught me and my students, and hopefully the LAMP learners as well, in terms of what do we do with our knowledge. So it is with much gratitude to the LAMP program. It is with much gratitude to Norma, to Lilian, who sends her students to my students every Monday night. It is gratitude to Jose, to Angelica, to Denise, who really help manage the Claremont College students. And it's gratitude to the other LAMP tutors that we share this space together. We do all this collective work. And as we face some serious questions on a federal level about immigration policy, as we face some serious questions as a country and as a community in the face of the Eric Garner decision, in the face of the Mike Brown decision, who are we as a country? How do we act in solidarity together to make these linkages on a federal level with local programs like this? So may we continue to have a joyous and empowering partnership. May we continue to have a unified and harmonious community to transform society together. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Kathleen. Wasn't that incredible? Doesn't that make you want to go back to college? Yes. Another partnership that we formed, which is a little newer and more recent, has been the Asian American Economic Development Enterprise. And I am going to invite Joyce Chan to come up here and speak a little bit about this incredible new partnership that also was a great contributor to the walkathon. And so Joyce, by the way, Joyce is a foundation member as well, a tutor as well, and has executed a lot of the past 2 walkathons, I believe, Joyce, correct? Yes. Please welcome Joyce Chan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to this very dear event to my heart. So I am going to, first of all, thank for all of your support for the 6th annual Literacy Walk, which happened on September 6th of this year. It was the weekend after Labor Day. I'd like to offer my personal appreciation to the Monterey Park City Council members, Board of Trustees of the library, the Monterey Park Library Foundation members, and the Friends of the Monterey Park Library, who continue to provide support for me and the LAMP program for this event. Thank you. And I'd like to recognize some of the donors who support the event. Those of you who are here, please come up to receive a certificate of appreciation. It's Jose. Where's Jose? Oh, okay. The following individuals supported the event at the Louisa May Alcott level. Rosalie Talsman, I believe, is here. Hi. Thank you, Rosalie. Rosalie, I believe, is a tutor of the LAMP program. Thank you. And Robert Jin, who is our Monterey Park Library Foundation Board President. Bob, thank you. John G, who is not here. He is a member of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance. Maybe we can give that certificate to Bob, too. That's the John G's one. And then Peter Chen, City Council member as well as Foundation Board member. Thank you, Peter. The Honorable Mike Ng, is he still not here anymore? Mike has been a firm supporter of the program. He is always present at all of our events, and that speaks for itself. And then last but not least, for the Louisa May Alcott level, Pauline Lemire, who I believe is a tutor and is present. Thank you, Pauline. And let's move on to the next level of sponsorship is the John Steinbach level. And Francis Lowe of First Choice Bank has been a supporter of the walkathon for the past several years. Thank you, Francis. I'd like to recognize Asian American Advancing Justice for their support as well, who cannot be with us today. and Daisy Liu, who is also a LAM teacher, I believe, who is not here today. We'd also like to thank Far East National Bank and U.S. Bank for their support at the Mark Twain level. Last but not least, Asian American Economic Development Enterprise, represented by Norman Lee at the highest level of Harper Lee Award, sponsorship for the walkathon of the LAMP program this year. If we can ask Norman to please come up to the stage. Thank you, Norman. Norman has been really generous with us, with several of us hitting him sideways, byways. And every 3 months, we email Norman for something else. So thank you so much, Norman. His partnership and further sponsorship for the Reading Rockets of the LAMP program, Diana will talk about that in a little bit. So if we can have everybody, we'll take a group picture for now. Thank you. And now I'd like to, Norman, can you stay behind, please? I'd like to ask Norman to kindly present 2 awards for us. The first award is the top walker of the walkathon. How long did the top walker walk? He walked the full 2 hours, which we were waiting for him to come back so we could leave. So that award goes to Lee Sambrana, who is here today. Congratulations, Lee. Please come up. That one. Maybe take a picture. Thank you. Thank you. Huh? You didn't there, Joyce? Now this feels a little weird. I'm announcing an award for myself. I am also the top fundraiser of the event. You can probably imagine why I was the top fundraiser because I have Norman's support for the sponsorship. And now I'd like to turn it back to Norma. Oh, some more? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. I've asked Norma to stay a little longer. I'm going to introduce Diana Garcia, who is our children's librarian. And we're very proud of our Reading Rockets. As you know, it earned us the Public Library Award for National, 1 out of 7 libraries, and so we owe that generosity of that award to our wonderful children's librarian, Diana Garcia. Diana, please.
That's good. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Norma asked me to speak a little bit about our Reading Rockets program. This is a program, you all know, our speakers have mentioned the programs that we have for adult literacy learners as well as for adult citizenship learners. We also have a program for children. This program, Reading Rockets, started about 3 years ago when Asian American Economic Development Enterprises came to us over the summer and said, "We have interns. Do you want them?" And Norma came to me and said, what can we have these folks do that's really meaningful? And out of that was born a partnership with Asian American Economic Development Enterprises, and out of that was born the Reading Rockets program. So this program is an after-school program for the children of Monterey Park who are in 2nd through 6th grade, who are struggling with reading in school. And so they come to the library every day after school for an hour and a half, and they get tutoring. And that's really been made possible. This whole program is possible with that partnership. So we've got a few certificates for our tutors. I think they're over here. And I'd like to call them up and recognize them for the hard work that they do every day. The first one is for, let's see, Lilian. Come on up. And Anita Fan, please. These are two of our current tutors who have been doing a fantastic job this semester with the children. They actually just helped us with our first children's author visit on Thursday. Their students have been reading a novel for the past 2 months, and we had the author come and visit the library and speak to the children to sign their books on Thursday. So I'd like to thank them for the fantastic job that they did with that. I'm also going to call up some of our former tutors and Asian American staff. Ann Suchia, can you come on up? Jason Lee, who's been with us from the beginning. Yvonne Shu. And Michelle Tan. These are some of the original interns that I had mentioned that actually started this program. Thank you all so much for the work that you've done. We look forward to continuing the success of the Reading Rockets program with the help of our tutors. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Literacy begins very early, and helping children who are struggling in their elementary years, which are the very beginning formative years, is crucial. And so this program has really helped to prevent them from becoming adults who have illiteracy skills. Our next program, and why we are here as well, is the presentation of certificates to all our tutors and ESL teachers. So I will begin that presentation, and I will be calling our tutors to come up. Our first tutor, Joyce Chan. Mary Jocelyn. You may want to save your applause for all the, because there's many. Pauline Lemire. Pauline. Okay. Mary. Can we have a literacy staff person come up and help with the certificates? Thank you. Simon Lowe. Do I have the what? I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you. Matthew Tan. Michael Tan. Rosalie Tolsman. Tila Young. Lee Sambrana. Okay. These folks here are our one-to-one tutors. These are the ones that sit in hours with their tutors, or their tuties, I'm sorry, every week and establish a wonderful relationship of teaching our adults how to teach English at a very personal level. Please give them an applause. Thank you. Thank you. Our next group will be the citizenship instructors and coaches. And I will only announce those that are present here today. We actually have the sister of our tutor of the year, Angeline Chau. Annabelle Chau. Paul Perez. My apologies, our famous rock star of citizenship, Lilian Kawaratani. Please come up. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Our next group are very unique in what they do. They are our ESL teachers. These are the folks that actually have a classroom setting of more than a one-to-one tutor, but actually have up to 50 students in a classroom at any given time. And these folks have been incredible because these are the folks that have also helped tremendously in us attaining grants, additional grants, by teaching the required and mandated curriculum and bringing the test scores up beyond what we even expected for literacy students. So I'm going to, again, ask that you hold your applause until I call those that are present here. Nancy Gilmore. Sam Fetchenbach, Richard Hollingsworth, Rick Liu, Patrick Scanlon, Carolyn Wong, and that is only a few of the 13 instructors that volunteer every week to teach ESL. Thank you so much. I could go on and on and on, but we need to feed you. And I know you're hungry, but Anthony, would you like to say anything, or Peter? I'd like to invite the council members up here to say a little something about our program, if you'd like. I know Peter... Councilmember Peter Chan has been involved with our library, as Anthony has as well in the past, but Peter has been part of our foundation for years and has been, his heart has been in the library, and I thank that for Peter, please.
It's an honor to be here, and library is such an important thing. And tell you a little secret, is that I don't like the library at all. When I was in high school, whenever I go to the libraries after school, I'm not behaving well, and I got penalized. Stay behind and meet me in the library, and that's what the teachers told me. So that's why I don't have a good feeling about library. But with the library, the few times that, well, many times that I'm in there, that I have nothing to do but to read, right? So time and again, then I feel better about reading and studying more, and so get to be a better person. So that's sometimes when bad things can turn into good things, and I think that's what the library is all about. And also the LAM literacy program, the citizenship, and the libraries, all kinds of children program, after school programs, and those are the very, very fantastic and good things for the youth of our, people that make them a better person. So thanks to Norma, the staff, and all the volunteers to make life better for everyone. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for coming to support the literacy program and the library. And congratulations, and thank you very much, all the tutors awardees today. We all know that this literacy program is very important, particularly to the city of Monterey Park, that we have so many new immigrants that English is their second language. And as we just heard that, not only that this program help those new immigrants that to speak and understand English, they further their study to obtain a bachelor degree, a master degree, and doctor degree, even PhD, and so forth. So that this program is very important to us, and we thank you very much, and all of you together making this program a success. And thank you very much. I know it's time for lunch, so happy holidays, and have a very nice Christmas, and thank you very much. Enjoy yourself.
One more thing. I want to bring my LAMP literacy staff up here. These are the incredible people who have supported you, who have been there for you, who have done some incredible research, gathering materials for you, taking your calls, and even being in my presence when I wasn't able to be there. So if I'd like to bring up Denise Tang, Angelica Marquez, May, and Jose Garcia. Please give them a round of applause. And for your enjoyment while you're eating, Jose is going to provide for you a wonderful video of the past year's highlights in the Lamp Literacy Program. Enjoy your lunch. And thank you.
First job in here started 2002. That's when I heard about the LAMPS program and the citizenship class. I learned that from my sister. Her name is Anna, and she is Lilian's ESL student. So I came to the library. My sister introduced me to Lilian, so I sit in her class when she was teaching citizenship. So I learned all my material. So Lilian is my mentor. So anyway, Lilian assigned me students that's going for interview. So I do one-to-one with them and do really intensive one-to-one to prepare them for the actual interview. In my class, I have students from this citizen class. They are different age group. You might have people in the early 20s or 30s. You might have people in the 70s and 80s. Then I have people from different parts of the world. And the students are the ones that give me the motivation. They come from far, from out of state even, to come to our class. I know some people come from Palmdale, some people come from St. Bernardino, some people come from Rancho Cucamonga. And how many buses they take, I don't know. Maybe 3 buses, 4 buses, to come to listen to me talk. Oh, it's wonderful. It's a fulfillment. It's really, you feel good. Like I say, it's therapy for me. Instead of paying the psychiatrist, save your money, come and volunteer. It's a myth when people think about volunteer are these old people, retired people who have nothing to do. So look at me, I'm still a full-time person. I work, I have a full-time job. I have plenty to do. I keep very active. So don't think I'm going to volunteer when I retire. You don't have to wait. You can do that even when you are active and working because it's something different. I think people need to see the volunteering as a young age, not when you are retired, you are old and have nothing to do. Then it becomes negative thing. It's a positive thing.
Hello, my name is Ken. I came to USA on April 2010, and my first job is the baker. And then I worked in the bakery around 7 months. After that, I think I want to learn some technology. So I went to an HVAC technology school in Long Beach, but I know my English is very poor, so I filled an application for the tutoring class in Liang. In 2011 March, I started the one-to-one Liang class. My tutor is Joyce. During that time, I learned a lot English vocabulary, and then I learned a lot the conversation. That helped me a lot to understand the HBS class because I need to learn a lot English book, and then I need to talk to my teacher in HBAC class and my classmate. So I think I can learn a lot from the Liang tutoring class, and then I can help me a lot for the HBAC class. I graduated HBAC class in October 2011. One day, my previous boss called me. She asked me if I interested to take over the bakery. I remember Joyce is the business counselor for the Chinatown Service Center. So I called her, and then actually she helped me a lot for how to financing, how to get the permit license, how to operate the business. On March 1st, 2014, I took over the bakery and I started to my own business. It's very thankful to Liang class because through Liang program I know Joyce, and through Joyce and I can get a lot information for the business. Yeah, I recommend the Liang program to more people, and I hope more people can benefit from the Liang program and Chinatown Service Center.